and welcome to round 7 here at Grand Prix Philadelphia. I'm Brian David Marshall, joined by Pro Tour Hall of Famer Ben Stark and Limited Resources author Marshall Sutcliffe somewhere around on the floor. And we are watching Paulo Vitor Damarosa, the Hall of Famer, playing against Samuel Tharmaratnam. And they are getting right underway. Blue-green, it looks like, for Samuel. Color combination you have a lot of time for in sealed.
Yeah, Paulo's playing Boros, which is a white weenie variant, something he's always championing.
And there is the Akroan Skyguard, pretty much like the premium common in Born of the Gods.
A very nice card. Once you build it to a 2/2 flyer, just targeting it a single time, you've really gotten your money's worth. 2-mana 2/2 flyer is an excellent card. And then it still has all that upside that it can be targeted again further.
Can be bestowed upon. I mean, it you know, you just draw like a Hopeful Eidolon, and that thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of the enchantments draw cards, so you can cycle through them while you're targeting it. It's an excellent card.
There's the Nick Smith. Showing proper technique. Can I read this card, please?
Yeah, you know, it's good to read the cards if you don't know exactly what they do. It's definitely a point that's come up a couple times today that we've mentioned that, you know, don't feel ashamed if you want to read a card and refresh yourself. It prevents mistakes. It'll allow you to make the right play.
A much bigger mistake sometimes is also just operating under your assumptions.
A much bigger mistake is not reading the card and then doing something that's not good.
Yeah.
You know?
Or operating in some way because you think the card does something else. It's and I think we've all done it.
Oh, no. I mean, I frequently read the cards, call the judges to find out how things work. Like, people often give me looks or like I'm like trolling or trying to level them. And I'm like, you know, I think I know how this works, but I want to be sure, you know? Speaking of how it works, though, this is a great start for Paulo's aggressive deck. Yeah.
Thassa's Emissary from Samuel, looking to keep things... both of these guys are playing lands in front, by the way.
I'm not a big fan of that. I don't know why they do it. I don't know where it comes from. Paulo's the only pro I know who does it. I mean, I've been playing a long time. I don't remember people doing that. Is that like old school?
I think Adrian Sullivan always used to do it.
Where does it come from?
I think people just want to sometimes like disorient their opponents. Maybe you want to be able to read your card. Maybe going to your point. Maybe it's like I just want my cards closer to me so I can see what's going on.
I think that's what Paulo usually says. He says like, I know what the lands do. You know, I need the cards closer to me and stuff. It makes more sense. But I don't know.
So he makes a token. Doesn't you don't attack your token?
No,
it's a 2/1 token.
No, it's a 3/1. But if he took it, he'd be able to crack back with the Thassa's Emissary, and that's going to draw cards. Right. You're not going to give your opponent cards, you know, for 3 damage.
Okay.
You know, cards generally being considered the most valuable resource. Life generally one of the less valuable ones.
Right. You have plenty of life.
Yeah, until you don't have any, in which case it becomes the most valuable. But at this point in the game, I don't think Paulo wants to deal 3 to give his opponent a card. Especially considering he'd have to take 3 anyway. It would just be 3 for 3 in a card.
Centaur Battlemaster comes down for Samuel. A card that can get out of hand super quick.
Yeah.
And not something the red-white deck, once that happens, like this is its window right now, right?
No, Paulo is not in great shape here. I mean, assuming that Paulo can't kill it, which it doesn't look like he can, maybe he can. Was that a Bolt of Kronos?
I think that might have been a Bolt of Kronos.
Yeah, I think he has a Bolt, so I think he will almost certainly bolt it. Like you said, you let your opponent on tap with that bad boy, and you know.
Yeah, nothing good has ever happened.
Yeah, you're going down. You're going down the rabbit hole fast. 1 bestow on that, and it can easily be an 8/8.
Right. Yeah. A retraction helix, like, ugh. I mean, yeah, green-blue, anything could be happening here.
Yeah. Paulo has got a lot of options, so he's carefully considering them. But assuming that was a bolt in his hand, I would be pretty surprised if he did not bolt.
That looks like he's lining up bolt, man. No? He also has an Ordeal of Perforos.
Does that work, though?
No, he can get to...
Just to 2 this turn, right?
He can just get to 2 unless he has another way to target.
Does he?
I can't see all the cards in his hand. Yeah. But if he has a Fall of the Hammer or a...
Sure, yeah. If he has a Fall of the Hammer, this
or even a Rise to the Challenge or something like that. I don't know what he's...
If he has anything like that, this could easily be a better play. But if he doesn't, I don't know.
He's not playing Rise. He doesn't have Fall in his deck, so...
This just seems really risky to me. I mean, maybe he's banking on his opponent not doing it out of fear that he has Lightning Strike because he's repping it. I don't know. I'll make those kind of plays. Like I'll cast a 2-drop and leave 2 open to rep it instead of casting a 3-drop. But I won't not kill it when I have the bolt. You know what I mean? To rep something I don't have.
I just got a peek at Samuel's hand, and next turn is going to be
bad.
Not good for the Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I don't know what Paulo's doing here, really. So it's really.
Is that a Reckless Reveler?
Yeah, I don't. So maybe he doesn't have bolt. Are we sure we saw bolt?
No, it couldn't have been a bolt.
It looks like a bolt.
That does look like a bolt.
I don't know.
It looks like a bolt and a conscriptor.
Yeah.
Maybe his plan is to let it get really big and then conscript it.
Maybe.
I mean, Samuel's down to 10.
Yeah. I mean, Paulo definitely is the aggro deck, so he's thinking one big creature isn't going to beat me, maybe.
But I think the Centaur Battlemaster is going to Stratus Walk and time to feed this turn.
Right. And I think he could have still made these same plays like next turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The window isn't closing that he had to get the ordeal on it this turn. I don't know. I don't really like this. I would have bolted the Battlemaster, but I said that. I don't know. And I never got to see Samuel's hand or anything in this game. I had no idea what he had or didn't have.
So make a 6/6, gain 3 life, go to 13.
I mean, you're just effectively conceding this game to so many cards. I mean, like time to feed. I mean, I understand if he taps out to bestow on it, maybe you can still win this game or something. I don't know.
He's looking at a Stratus Walk.
And maybe Paulo felt like, if it wasn't time to feed, if it was anything else, he was going to get in the damage with the Crone Skyguard. The 3 damage from the ordeal, and then the 3 damage from the bolt. Maybe that would be enough.
Yeah. So he gets in for 3. He would have gotten in for. Yeah, he would have got. Actually, that was lethal. Right.
Yeah.
He attacks for 7 next turn in the air.
But presuming your blue-green opponent, who's got 4 or 5 cards in hand, has nothing.
Right.
I mean. It's pretty easy for blue-green to have a single bounce spell or something.
Sure,
and mess up that plan. And the window to kill the Battlemaster maybe never.
And time defeat's a common that you just have to be thinking about. It's a card that it's one of the reasons you're going to play Centaur Battlemaster.
And one of the reasons you're going to be 6-0 with a green deck.
Right,
I mean, it's probably the best green common in sealed, or maybe second to ask. Definitely second to ask.
Yeah.
It's a good green common anyway.
So there's an Acron Conscriptor. Paulo's still.
He's not out of the game.
He's still at a full 20.
Yeah, he's not out of the game. His opponent went a little conservative. If I was his opponent, I would certainly have sent one of my 2 creatures last turn.
Right.
Probably the Thassa's Emissary, but I'm not really sure.
Could have Stratus Walked it too.
Yeah, and then started drawing cards. And then he's got the 6/6 back, and I mean the Battlemaster, and I don't even know if it's lethal. Even if Paulo had something like a port, it might not even still be lethal, or it might be exactly. No, that would still only be 12. I don't know.
I mean, things get also a little warped. Like sometimes you're playing at the top tables, you play next to people, and you have information about their deck.
True.
You've seen it. Like maybe he's seen the Conscriptor and he's worried about doing.
Well, I mean, Paulo couldn't play the Conscriptor and play something on it last turn.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was necessary to have both of those creatures back last turn.
Okay. We're going to just flip away for a second and come right back. Okay. We're here. I see. Okay. All right, we're trying to fix an issue with the feed here, but we're watching Paulo has untapped. He's doing some math.
Right, well, now the Conscriptor, I mean, he has Observant Alcyon in hand, so he can target the Conscriptor, but it only takes 1 guy. So, I mean, I don't know that it's going to open up a profitable attack for Paulo, aside from attacking with the 1/6/6 you take or something.
Right, you take the 6/6 and bash it in.
Well, he's got the 3/7 to block it too. So.
Right, yeah, that doesn't even do it.
No, I don't think Paulo really has any good plays here, to be honest.
There you go. We're back on the tabletop view.
I'm not really loving Paulo's situation now.
So there's the Observant Alcyon.
I mean, if he makes a big attack, which he's almost certainly going to, the 3/7 can get tied up, and he can get in some good damage. I don't think he's going to get in enough damage to kill him. But
so he's thinking about sending in his 2 red guys as well.
He virtually has to. And I'm not sure why Paulo's still thinking about this, because this is a decent lesson in thinking in batches. You don't have to plan the whole game ahead, but you should certainly know what you're going to attack with before you cast the Observant Alcyon on your Zealous Conscripts and take their guy. At that point, you need to figure out whether it's right for you to send those 2 ones or not.
Because and if you don't send them, then maybe it wasn't right to play the Observant Alcyon here.
Exactly. And There is the possibility that Paulo knows he's going to send them, and that he's just trying to make it look like he doesn't have anything else.
Sure.
So his opponent's less afraid of, say, a bolt or something.
Sure.
So I mean, I'm not saying that Paulo didn't think this through. Paulo knows what he's doing.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously.
Of course.
You know. But,
one of the winningest players in the history of the Pro Tour.
But regardless of how you want to represent it to the opponent, you should know before you cast that observe analysis on your conscripts whether or not you're going to send both those 2-1s or not this turn. You should have your attack planned out.
Yep. It looks like Paulo's going to get him to 5.
Is he going to get him a 3?
Does he get him to 3? So the conscriptor's 5, right?
Yeah.
The token is 3. That's 8.
That's 10.
That's 10. He's got him in the bolt range.
Look at Paulo still pulling this game out. I mean, assuming he doesn't die, which I guess he's probably not going to, because he even has the conscriptors back to block. So I still like bolting the Battlemaster, but good for Paulo. Getting in the damage and pulling this game out.
I mean, that's what's so amazing about Magic is that, there's just all these opportunities to just go down a different path.
And look, I finally got to see Samuel's hand.
What is he holding?
A little life gain.
Oh, Annihila's disciple.
The plot always thickens. It always thickens.
But he's got to be a little scared about that conscriptor right now, though.
Yeah.
Again, making that he could put Stratus Walk on that Centaur Battlemaster and get in for a lot, but then.
But it's not lethal, and then it can't
it's not
block.
lethal, or he can't block, and the threat of it cracking back is just.
Well, that would kill him, right?
Yeah.
So he's not going to make that play.
Yeah.
If he's going to. If I were going to put the Stratus Walk on anything, it would be the fastest emissary.
Yeah.
Because I could start drawing cards, and if he has a way to steal it, he's just going to deal 3 and draw a card. He's not going to kill me. You know?
Well.
I probably wouldn't put the Stratus Walk on anything, though. I don't know. Maybe on the emissary. That actually is a really tough decision, I think, because you see so many cards that way. This is a very reasonable play too, though. Just attack with your one big guy and drop the other creatures. I have to imagine. Post-combat, we're going to see the Wolf and then the Disciple gaining a bunch of life. Maybe just the Disciple, because the Battlemaster could be lethal in 1 turn with the Wolf plus the Stratus Walk.
Right.
So this is kind of an interesting spot for whether or not, assuming Paulo takes this, which he almost certainly will, because I can't imagine he's going to throw away his Zealous Conscripts. What Paulo's thinking right now is there any way you could 20 me right now if I don't block? Because he doesn't know about the Disciple, and it's fine. He's not blocking or not blocking, doesn't play around Disciple anyway. But what he's thinking is if I lose this game with this bolt in my hand to this one Centaur Battlemaster attack, because he could play a flurry of pump spells. He's got 3-4 cards in it.
Savage Surge is +5.
Right, and it's currently at 6.
Feral Invocation is another 4.
Yeah.
Another 5.
Yeah.
That's actually almost.
This is what Paulo's trying to count right now. He's trying to figure out is there any way that thing could 20 me if I don't block it?
Oh, he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's banking on that bolt. I mean, he doesn't know that he has Disciple,
Right.
He feels like, there's no reason. I'm not going to, he probably figures I'm not going to win this game if he has a second time defeat or Disciple anyway.
Right.
Which
was
he's
the
probably
aspect
not.
of Hydra kill him?
Maybe. I mean, in combination, it does a lot, not by itself.
Oh, and then the backbreaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, he lost his.
He made the block, which, if he knew he had Disciple, he certainly wouldn't have blocked, but he would have probably lost it anyway to the Disciple.
Right. And so next turn he can Wolf and.
Yeah. No, because Paulo did block, so it's not going to be 20 next turn.
No, I'm saying he can Wolf and walk, though.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I don't think that's 20. I was saying if Paulo took it down to 14, I think that's 15 damage, right?
So Rage of Perforos takes out the Thassa's Emissary.
Yeah, he's just scrying now, trying to find whatever his bombs or answers are. I don't think he was that concerned about that Emissary, but he knows holding the Rage isn't helping anything. kind of playing it coy because he doesn't want to lose to, Portland or things like the conscripts.
Yep.
I imagine he'll probably go for lethal in one turn if Paulo's tapped out and the coast is clear. He probably won't if Paulo leaves open Divine Verdict mana or something like that.
Looks like Paulo has scried his way to a Celestial Celestial Archon.
An interesting card.
Doesn't look like he has the 7th mana to bestow it.
It's 1 damage short of lethal anyway, right? Although I guess not. If he could bestow it, wow, what a game if he could bestow it, right? Because then Samuel would have to Stratus Walk to be able to just block the giant flying guy, and we'd be back to a stalemate.
Right.
Since he can't bestow it, though, all he can do is cast it.
It looks like finally, after all this time,
he's using the bolt.
It looks like he's using it on Samuel.
Maybe that gives him some more outs. I didn't go over Paulo's list that well. He's getting him in range, he's just getting him in range, so if he draws a land, he could just kill him with the Archon.
Right.
That's what Paulo's thinking. He doesn't know that Samuel can lethal him out of nowhere. So now it's going to be a question of if Samuel knows that Samuel can lethal him out of nowhere here.
And then comes a Bronze Sable.
Yeah, and Samuel does have lethal. Let's see if he knows it or doesn't know.
There's the Stratus Walk.
Now he puts on the Wolf, and it's lethal. And he obviously knows. He's not even looking at the next card. He's just up, 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 and that's 15.
Jeez.
Out of nowhere.
Paulo's like, I knew it.
Yeah. Sam definitely knew it. You saw he barely even looked at what he drew.
Yeah,
he didn't look at the card status. I got you dead. That was cool.
I have this card here, but I don't even need it.
Yeah.
So now we're peeking in across the way. We're looking at Reed Duke versus Jacob Gagnon.
Always fun to watch Reed. I don't know much about Jacob Gagnon.
Yeah, no, me neither. See a Heliod's Emissary that had been grip-tided just kind of get played right off the top of the deck.
That guy does get played a lot. I hardly ever hold that guy to bestow him.
Yeah, well, he's 7, right? So
right.
It's like,
but he's so powerful in play, too.
Yeah.
It's not like, say, the green Emissary where, 3/3 trample. Not that impressive. Bestow it on something else, now you have a giant trample.
Yeah.
Very impressive. That guy, he makes blocking impossible. The Heliod's Emissary?
Yeah.
What are you going to leave back 2 guys and then have your best one tapped? And your second best blocker is going to stop their team,
How many Wild Celebrants are we going to see today? Didn't get anything this time.
Not nearly as impressive as when it killed Bow of Nylea.
Yeah. Who's on the left and who's on the right here? That's Reed Duke's Heliod's Emissary.
I think that's Reed Duke, yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of pale. His opponent looks a little tanner. This game just looks like a race. Reed is doing some thinking, some counting, trying to figure out whether he wants this race or not.
He's like, get in for 5. Yep, there's Battlewise Hoplite. What do you say, Sudden Storm here? Is that the?
It's probably something. I don't know what it is. It could be Divine Verdict. It could be Sudden Storm. It could be Grip Tide. It doesn't have to cost 4 just because of 4 up. It could be Voyage's End or something.
Yeah.
It's representing about every trick in the book.
We can just be reasonably certain it's not Excoriate.
No, it's probably he probably doesn't have an Excoriate. I think I might have saw a Crypsis when he picked it up there, but
wow.
I'm not sure.
So there's the 6th land for Gagnon that'll let him monstrous his Ill-Tempered Cyclops. But that's not how we're going. Instead, Hammer of Perforos. Then we're going to play the 6th land and play a Kragma Butcher.
Yeah, and that play makes sense. You assume you might have Divine Verdict, Grip Tide, one of these cards that's going to mess up your Cyclops anyway.
Yeah.
Even though we know it might be a Crypsis and not that, he doesn't know that, and you're not going to just tap your 6 and put all your eggs in that basket when he's got 4 open representing Grip Tide and Divine Verdict.
So it sounds like Gagnon's gone to his attack step.
Yeah, and we can't see the life totals here, but assuming that this is a race Gagnon believes he can win, with the hammer out especially, then he's just going to attack with everything.
Oh, Ray of Dissolution. to take out the hammer.
Did it also take out the entire combat step?
Well, I guess he just decided he didn't want to attack.
Interesting. He was getting ready to turn all his guys or a lot of his guys, and he just like that decided not to attack with anything. I mean, I don't know his life total.
I mean, his life total still had to have been fairly
high, right?
Fairly robust that he could afford to attack with everybody.
Or at least somebody, I don't know. Well, I guess if you're sending somebody, you're sending everybody. But I mean, maybe it's not, I don't know. Reed's got a grip tight in the yard. Maybe Reed's really pressured him this game.
Reed's turn.
The life totals could be considerably lower than it looks at a glance in this game. Both players have grip tides in their yard, so it's definitely possible they both use them to push damage through.
All right, Celebrants gets tapped by Heliod's Emissary. Wow, it doesn't just...
He must be low.
Yeah, he's got to be. Do we know the life totals here, Rusty? Can you ask?
I can see Reed's pad, actually. It looks like his opponent's at like 2 or so from reading Reed's life pad there in the bottom of the bottom corner, which would obviously make these plays make sense.
Reed's about to gain some life because he's got Mortal's Valor for the...
Although if his opponent is at 2, he certainly didn't have a Crypsis in hand. But
all right, well, we have to leave this bloodbath that's resolving and get back to this game. Here, Samuel Thamaratam up 1-0 on Paulo Vitor Damarosa, comes out fast with a Vaporkin. And Paulo is scuffling. No third land. Samuel plays pretty crisp.
Yeah, he's played really well so far. That's not to say just because, you know, we haven't necessarily heard of someone that they aren't good at Magic.
Right.
But
Skull of Veil.
I've never heard the name Samuel. I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name. But he's been playing extremely well. He seemed to have a really good grasp of everything going on in the game at all points during a long, complicated game last game.
That sort of sense that he has the crispness that comes from a lot of repetition.
Sure.
And a lot of repetition at tournament play.
Sure.
There's a Ferris Band Tromper.
I mean, the only play I remember I would have made different was I would have attacked, I think, with the Thassa's Emissary that one turn that he left both it and the Battlemaster back.
Yeah.
And even that may be wrong. It's, you know, it's just a little bit more aggressive of a play.
Yep. He is just going to work here on Paulo's life total. It looks like here comes the return of the Battlemaster.
Well, this isn't quite like the last game. Last game was a really good game. This game, Paulo is just stuck on 2 lands. His opponent has, you know, a perfect draw.
Yeah.
But
a Bronze Sable that can neither attack or block.
But let's, you know, get back to Reed's match. That was
here we go.
Good.
So Cyclops with the One-Eyed Pass came in. It gets tapped. Yeah, Crypsis and Mortal's Valor last turn.
He did have Crypsis, so then his opponent can't be at 2 because Crypsis gives protection from creatures, and his opponent was virtually tapped out that turn, right?
Oh, well, that's a card.
Look at the life pad right there. Doesn't that look like a 2 underneath?
It sure does.
It's kind of hard to be critical when you jump in and out, but this game doesn't look all that close regardless.
Right.
I mean, I don't know Reed's life total, but he's got a considerably more powerful board.
Yeah, I mean, so that's got to go in front of the Battle-Wise Hoplite. Now he's going to bounce.
Yeah, and so he's certainly not at 2, or this would just be a concession to the Snarecaster, so.
Bounce the Fabled Hero.
Maybe we'll get an idea of the life total.
Battle-Wise Hoplite, take 2 from...
Well, that's just a trade. That's the 5-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you eat stuff and it bites back.
Looks like maybe now he's at 2, but he couldn't have been at 2 previously or he'd be dead.
Right.
So, like we thought when we jumped in, he was low. He wasn't at 2, but he was low. And I don't think that Lightning Strike he drew is going to kill all 3 of Reed's creatures. And that looks like the match.
All right, Reed Duke takes the match 2-0 over Jacob Gagnon. Reed Duke goes to 7-0. We just saw